This is Wisdom Quarter with Sam Adeyemi, preferring practical solutions to life's practical issues and relevant wisdom nuggets for life success. Thank you for joining us. And now, Sam Adeyemi.
This is Sam Adeyemi, and you're welcome back to Wisdom Quarter. All right, and in this series, as you remember, started from last week, we are dealing with the subject of procrastination. Now, procrastination, we defined it severally, and we shared last week as to how would you know if you are struggling with the issue of procrastination, and we mentioned all those things, how you can find out if you are dealing with it in a mild way, which we all do, or in a very serious way, or perhaps you are suffering from chronic procrastination. But whichever way it is, since we shared with us that the degree of your personal procrastination will determine the quality and the quantity of the stuff you'll be able to get done. So that will determine your life achievements. So if you want to be an outlier and a standout person, a successful person, it's important that you labor to cut down on your procrastination or phase it out completely if you can. And I really think you can. All right, so the first step towards dealing with procrastination is to be true to yourself. All right, there is no point being in denial about it. So when you acknowledge within yourself, you know what, I am suffering from procrastination. If it is mild one, like we all do, then you deal with it. Serious, deal with it. But the idea is that you've got to begin to work at it and make sure you bring it from the level of chronic to serious, from serious to mild, and eventually you face it out completely. Then you're on the path of being a great success. All right. Often the excuse of procrastinator is that, I perform better under pressure. Now, the fact is that most of us all do perform better under pressure. In other words, if we have a deadline and we have to deliver something, and we come up with something, we make sure we deliver. We might lose some sleeps, keep, all night, keep vigil, just laboring, making sure we meet the deadline. Most of us do that. But then the fact remains that if you can just spend some good time to get the job done earlier, then you have a great opportunity to tweak, to fine-tune, and to improve on the final outcome of whatever the project is. Now, let's have a picture here. Let's take two guys. They had the same background, the same training. They both knew what they were doing. They both were experts. And the same project was given unto them. One, who is the procrastinator, he won't do it. He will just keep busy doing some things not that important, or until the few days to the time that the project has to be delivered. Then he is scrambled. He begins to do a lot of things to get it done. But the other guy, who always will set out to get it done way ahead of time, he will set at it. So he got it done about 2 weeks before the deadline. Now, this guy who got it done ahead of time will spend quality time, tweak it, fine-tune it, do some research, do the packaging, making sure everything is excellently put together. And then he will come presenting it, eliciting good reward for it. But the guy who procrastinated, coming the last minute, he probably will forget one or two things, maybe some papers here and there, and the whole thing is not well packaged and stuff like that. So making sure we get things done on time, getting rid of procrastination is a huge, huge asset to any man or any woman who will succeed in life. Now, listen to me. Procrastination is not a disease. It's not something you go to a doctor to say, okay, I'm suffering from procrastination, help me out here. But rather, it's a reflection of your personal struggle with self-control. I say that again. It's a reflection of our own personal struggle with self-control. So procrastination can be gotten rid of. You can learn to not procrastinate. It is something you can improve on. Okay? All right? And it's an habit that we all naturally do it, because we tend to be lazy a little bit sometimes, or we all naturally do it. But when it's been done again and again for quite a long time, you end up making it your habit. So the only way you can deal with it is to counteract it with a better habit. And I want to suggest an habit with which you can replace procrastination. I call it the get it done now habit. get it done now habit. And how do you do that? Commit to plan before any project. Commit to plan. And here are things you need to look out for. Before you start out on any project, ask yourself, what are the goals I need to accomplish at the end of this project? Set it out, be clear. It will drive you, because when you see the reward ahead of you, you'll be able to pursue it. Number two, how much time should it take, should I spend on this project? Find it out, okay, and build it in and schedule it. All right, set your goals per time and say, okay, break it down daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, depending on how long the project is going to take. Then the next thing is that ask yourself, are the resources available to execute this project? Do I have the resources? All right, sometimes the resources may just be handy and be around, and then you put them together. Then you can sit down and get the job done there. Sometimes these resources may be scattered all over the world. Maybe you have to go to Europe to get something, or India to get something, depending on what the project may be. Maybe from making a movie, a big time movie, or just writing a small project for a kindergarten. So you should think of where those resources are and pull them together and build the time of getting those resources into your schedule, so you don't get frustrated if something is missing along the way. The next thing is this: think of the best process, the procedure, and the method to get this job done. Think of it way ahead of time, so you don't just go the shortest distance with the longest via the longest route, wasting too much time trying to get there. But if you already, preempt the process, you plan it, you come up with the method and procedure, then you can begin to take one step at the other until you accomplish it. Then the next thing is that make sure you preempt any possible distraction. What could possibly distract me? What are the things? Then get rid of them. Get rid of the, oh no, I don't want to take calls around this time. Then that's it. Get rid of them. Put them away. Okay? And now, finally, plan procrastination into your, build procrastination again into your planning. I say that again. Build procrastination into your planning. You suffer from procrastination. That is the truth. That's the fact. Okay, mild or serious or chronic, then build that into consideration. This is how you do that. Think of, okay, when I feel pressed and I feel overwhelmed, I feel pressed to just abandon this project and move on, or just abandon, or just move away, or postpone it, or say, I'll do it later. What should I do at that moment? Somebody said that, well, it's the time to take a break and get back on it. I think that's a good idea. That's a good idea. And that takes me back into building time in your planning. If you already scheduled that, okay, you know what? On daily basis, I'm going to spend 2 solid hours or 3 solid hours on this very particular project, and you put your resources together and everything is set to do it, then your mind is programmed to spend those 2 hours. Now, before you start thinking of, okay, you know what, I'm done, the 2 hours will be over. So then tomorrow you get back and spend another 2 hours until you get the project done. That's how to deal with it. But it's when you don't build time ahead of time, that's when it appears that, I've been on this, I'm stressed out and stuff like that. So when you build time ahead, then you discover that there is no procrastination here. You are working according to the schedule. Well, on that point, I will round up on this very particular episode. I believe you get the gist. The idea is this: make sure you plan. And if you plan and you put a lot of things together into it, it's going to be easy for you to get rid of procrastination. Thank you for being here today. I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.